Hey guys, this is Brooks from Mayday Parade, and you're watching Morgan Richards Interviews.
Hey, I'm Morgan Richards from Radio Cardiff, backstage here at the O2 Academy in Bristol. I'm joined now by a band who have constantly taught us a lesson in romantics. It's of course the wonderful Brooks of Mayday Parade.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey man, you right?
Yeah, doing good.
Yeah, how's things?
It's good. We've been touring here for about a week and a half, a little more, and we're having a good time.
Yeah, well, fantastic. So, of course, you spent pretty much this whole year celebrating the 10th year anniversary of your debut studio album, A Lesson in Romantics, with a special re-release and tour it intensely across the globe. I'm sure revisiting these songs every night has brought up a whole wave of memories across the last decade.
Yeah, it has. It's really cool to be able to do it because I didn't think we'd be playing music 10 years after that record, honestly. So it's cool to go back, kind of revise it, and even play songs that I'm sure at some point we had played all of them, but still had to go back and kind of relearn some songs because it was so old, deeper tracks that you wouldn't normally play, that sort of thing, and like get to know them again. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. We did, like you were saying, we've done a lot of touring in the U.S. We did a 2-month run. Shoot, it was a little bit more than that, I think, and so that was one of the longest straight runs that we've done, in a single tour, and now we've just continued on with our international of that.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And really going back to that time of 2007, these songs were really written on the road of Warped Tour when the buzz first really started for the band. This is when a lot of things started to change. Going back to that time, what were some of the really early memories of the buzz starting and just everything getting full circle?
Yeah, I mean, some of these tracks were written, before we were really known. So we were working as a group together in a warehouse. This band came together out of 2 different bands that both practice at the same warehouse, and it definitely takes you back a bit. Of course, like, our music doesn't always sound like this record as we've gotten older, but I don't know. I guess what I don't know what else to say about it. But,
yeah. And mentioning some of those tracks that you've revisited and haven't played in quite some while, has there been any that surprised you with fan reaction that you haven't really played before, but people have been loving?
I think every song, everybody loves every song, because what's happening is a lot of people who maybe didn't even know the whole record would go back and listen to the whole thing and enjoy it as a whole. Because that's the thing. Back then, people were listening more to whole records, right? And if somehow we've managed to keep a young fan base, so the people who are coming out to these shows were not even listening to us when that record came out. So I think them knowing that we're going to play this front to back gives them a reason to go back and listen to the whole thing and all that. And and like you were saying too, sorry I missed part of your question on that last one, but with the start of Warped Tour and all that, there was a tour that we did with Wheatus a long time ago, and a lot of these songs were kind of hashed out during our first tour, which was before our first Warped. And I guess we did go out and sell CDs, on Warped Tour, but we hadn't actually really played it, at that point. We're still just doing the van thing, and living it pretty rough. So it's crazy to see, I guess, that we've been able to make it that far, 10 years, and see, I guess, the success of it, from where it came from.
Okay, fantastic. And with all that now, it's been quite a while since you've been working on new material for a new record, but is there anything going wrong with this tour with ideas that started for fresh material?
And we've been, even before this tour, we've been working really hard at a new record, and we've done several sessions together. We get together like at a central place, usually in Florida, and hash out all our ideas, because everybody's writing a lot of music. We work through the best stuff, or what we think is the best stuff anyway, and that sometimes that opinion even within the band changes as you see it go along. Or even when you start working on stuff together, as a full band, you start to realize like, oh, well, maybe that song wasn't as good as I thought. Maybe this one's better, that sort of thing. So we got a lot of ideas rolling. I'm always messing with stuff in my head. I know the other guys are as well. So the road is a good place to do that because you have a lot of downtime, that sort of thing. We all have our little small home studios and stuff. So what I like to do is work on stuff on the road, not worry about trying to demo it too much besides like a little voice memo on your phone or something. Take it home and kind of make like a fun little demo out of it to present to everybody. And then the guys will take it from there and see if they want to work with it or what they want to change, that sort of thing.
Okay, so at the moment a lot of ideas floating about.
Yeah. There's a lot of ideas. I'm actually really excited for the material that we have that we've been working on. So we'll still be recording music all the way through the end of this year, and we'll hope for early 2018 release. But that's all up in the air still, of course.
And with that, and going back to your last record, Black Lines, that seemed to have a lot more darker and heavier tones in places. You've always really progressed material throughout the years, but where do you really see Mayday Parade going musically on the next record?
So Black Lines was something that we were all really into, like as far as stylistically. We knew it'd be a little bit different. It's definitely darker, more minor, and it's a little maybe even rougher on the edges at times. It's something I wish we would continue to kind of go down that path, but I can tell that it's like the fans want a little bit of the mix of the old, so maybe that was a little bit too much. So just kind of like we've always done, I think every record's had a little bit of evolution to it, especially with certain tracks. There's always a couple in there that are going to be different, maybe something you never heard before. I think Black Lines maybe had more of that, and we'll take those elements from there, and then we'll continue to evolve like we always have, but with being conscious of like the roots of where we came from, and have some of that mixed in there as well. Whereas Black Lines, we were just kind of we just like screw it, we'll do what we want with it, So I think with the newer record, I guess I should say, is that you'll see a little bit more of that blend, and it won't be so heavy or dark as Black Lines was.
Well, looking forward to hearing it when it drops. And with all that, of course, for the rest of the year, you're just going to be extremely busy continuing the celebration tour and working on the new material, as you mentioned. But what else can we really expect from Mayday Parade now coming up in the near future?
We'll hope to just keep going, with it, because we got a new record coming out. Of course, we'll tour on that. Of course, we'll be back in the UK doing more touring, and hopefully all these other territories that we're hitting as well. That's pretty normal for us after putting out a new record, and we hope it gets a good response, and be able to continue doing what we do and come play shows for you guys. Brilliant. Well, that's about it. Cheers for taking time out to have a quick chat with me. For sure.
Best luck with everything now, and hope we can catch you again very soon.
And hopefully we'll be in Cardiff next time.
Hopefully. Cheers, man.
All right.
Thanks.